I was failing exam after exam in medical school. Honestly, I felt like my dream of becoming a doctor was slipping away. If I told you that actually all these failures was the best thing that happened to me. Spoiler alert, I'm actually a doctor now, and in this video I'm going to share how I made my personal setbacks into an amazing comeback. Let me take you back to the beginning. In high school, I was a very average student, I would say at best, and I didn't really care about high school that much. But what really interested me was actually video games. I loved playing video games. So to the point where actually sometimes I would skip school in order to go and play in an internet cafe. And of course, that was not good for my grades, and it showed up in the paper report that I had especially during the last 3 years of my high school. And really, I felt like I was going nowhere in life, that I was practically a loser without any direction and purpose. Until when I was 19, I realized that I can't continue like this, that I have to make a big change in my life. I have to make a shift, and the first step for me would be to actually quit my video game habit, which actually transformed into an addiction at that point, and it was definitely taking a toll on my personal life. Now I'm being quite honest here and authentic, because this was really how I felt during that time, and I was really in a bad mental health, and my parents were actually very supportive of me. They wanted me to quit gaming, and so with the help of a counselor as well, I managed to quit my video game addiction, and I decided I wanted to study medicine abroad. So I started studying for these exams, and I took 1 gap year basically, and to my surprise, I got accepted into the university abroad, which was in Slovakia, Bratislava. And actually I gave 2 exams, and I managed to get accepted into both medical schools, and I just simply went based on the rankings, and I selected the best. When I finally started as a first year medical student, I was, to say the understatement of the year, no more or less than ecstatic. And I thought my life from now on would be golden, and I wouldn't need to worry about anything else, since now I'm officially a medical student. And of course, that's never the case with life, right? So I started really struggling in university, especially during the first semester, to pass my big exam, which was, at the time I had biophysics, was the first exam, and it was an oral exam. So I failed that the first time, and I failed it, and I was lucky enough to pass it actually the second time. The second semester I was really struggling with chemistry specifically, and actually I had to repeat the exam and not have a summer, because I was struggling and I couldn't pass it during the normal exam period. Actually, the way it worked in my university is that you have 3 chances, and you need to pass any exam with those 3 chances, otherwise you get kicked out of the university. And these 3 chances, it applies throughout the whole 6 years of medical school, so you can actually practically fail even if you are 5 years into medical school, or even your last year you can fail. The university was not the only challenge for me. I was living abroad in a country and culture that was very different than my own culture and country, and also I was living alone for the first time. I had to take care of myself, learn how to do that, and do, of course, the basic tasks you have to do when you're living alone. So as a first year medical student, I was actually really struggling, having to balance all these things. A lot of my friends actually even gave up or got kicked out, especially during the first years. And of course I felt sad about that, but I had to continue, I had to push on. And at the time it was a lot of stress to manage, and I really needed an outlet that would help me to relieve, all this pain that I was feeling and to relieve all the stress. So what I did was I started going to the gym, and actually it really helped me going to the gym. And that was when I realized that I have to change something, I have to get better, that I wasn't enough how I was and I wasn't satisfied, and I should have bigger standards. I should raise my standards for myself. And if I want to be successful in life and successful and competent doctor, that even if actually just to be a doctor, to be honest, I have to raise my standards and demand more for myself and be a better student, much better student. So what I discovered was the gym, and throughout the gym I found consistency in the gym, going to the gym and working out, and this helped me a lot. And I took it one step at a time, and basically I was consistent, and I worked very hard for the next 4 years, where I managed to retake all my failed exams in med school. And then after the last 2 years during my med school career as a medical student, I didn't have any problem with it. Now, why did I say this big story? Well, the reason is that the key lesson from this story to take away, or the takeaway of the story, is that you can start at any time and you can rewrite your story. It's 100% on you to do that. So I want to encourage you that it's never too late to change your story, and it's never too late. Even if you have just failed an exam right now, or if you have failed multiple exams like I had, or even if you are in a different university studying medicine, or even if you are not studying medicine anymore, if the pressure was too much for you, like, it's never too late to start again and do it again and do it better and achieve your goal. It's never too late. So the 3 major steps that I want to give you for this video, what I personally did, and I am still following to this day, and I think it will apply in general for everything you do, not just in medical school. The number one thing is that you have to take accountability for your actions. You can't blame your examiners or your university, or the fact that you're living alone, or the fact that you don't have any friends, or any of those things. Ultimately, it's up to you and what you can control, which is your actions and your studying. So you have to make sure that next time you will be better, and you will actually study better and learn and improve and understand what you made wrong during the exam, if it was a preparation mistake or if it was because you didn't understand the topic. You can all go through around those things. You can ask your professor, you can discuss it with a friend or with a colleague. You can ask for help, and don't be afraid to ask for help. I would say that's also an important thing. And the second step is to self-reflect, to understand specifically where you did wrong, and actually journal about it. Write down precisely where you think you went wrong, and even you can go to your teacher or in your university, to the department, and ask even the teacher itself that failed you. You can actually do that. You can ask the examiner that failed you, or the teacher that failed you in a written exam, why and where were your mistakes. If it was a written exam, to ask to check for your mistakes for the paper, and if it was an oral exam, you can ask the examiner. And you can also attend other oral exams. You can actually do that. You can go and be as a observer and observe other oral exams, because in my university all the exams were actually oral. Most of them, like 95%, were oral. And this is something actually I never did, and I found out like very late that I have the option to do that. My third tip is that you have to move forward. You shouldn't be stuck on the past, and you shouldn't just continuously think about it and that you're a failure and that you can't change the outcome and that you cannot succeed. You are not a failure. Your result based on the exam is not a reflection of who you are as a person, but it's a reflection of the effort that you put for that specific exam. So I'm gonna repeat that again because I needed to make it stick to you. I need to make it stick for you that the exam or any exam is not a reflection of who you are as a person, but only a reflection of the effort you put on that specific exam. So based on this understanding, on this newfound understanding, you can just change the effort next time on the same exam that you failed, and you will do better. This is my story, and these are my 3 key takeaways, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was valuable for you. If you want more tips or lessons about medical school and productivity and studying, make sure to subscribe and like the video. That would be much appreciated. And you can also send this video to a friend of yours that you know has failed an exam. I'm sure it will help them to recover faster and achieve success in medical school. I'll see you guys in the next video.